This will be a quick walkthrough of creating submission 2 in Inventor. So we have this drawing to work from. We have quite a lot of dimensions, so we should be all right in creating this part. So I'm just going to move it over to my other screen, and then we can start off. We'll start by creating the base, which will be a rectangle. And I prefer using a 2-point center rectangle so that I can set the center of it. And I just need to scroll down a bit on my other screen here so I can see all of the dimensions. Let's see. Back in Inventor, we are going to have 50 in width, and we're going to have 80 in length. So put this one in here, press enter to set it in place. Now what I can do now, if I want to, I can also add the little slots on the ends. I can do those by putting in a new rectangle here. I'll attach it to this end, and I'll set the height of the slot as 20 and the depth of the slot as 10. Lock both of those in place, and I hit enter. Now I need to set it from the bottom here, where we have been given a 15 millimeter dimension. Now I could mirror this one across the center, but it's going to be just as easy to just create a new one. So 20, 10, lock it in place, and put the dimension up. 15. I press finish sketch. I'll zoom a bit out, and then I'll extrude it, and I won't extrude all of it. I'll only extrude the inner part here, so that I've already removed the slots from it. And it's supposed to be 10 millimeters thick. So now I need to create the top part, and I'll do that by creating a sketch over on the side here. And I'll be creating another rectangle. I might just do a project geometry first so that we get some lines to attach it to. So I'll create another rectangle here, and it's going to be 20 tall and 40 wide. So 40 wide there and 30 tall. I looked at the wrong dimension there, so 30 tall. Lock that one also into place, and I'll set it there. Now I'm going to use a vertical constraint in order to lock the midpoint of this one vertically above the center of my original plate. And I'm going to create an angled line on this side and connect it to the top, and an angled line on this side and connect it to the top. And I'm supposed to have 10 millimeters between these. There, and I press finish sketch. Now I can extrude this part, but I want it to go the other way, and I want it to go 2, so I'm going to switch around here, and we're going to press on this face here, so it's going to extrude all of the way to that side. So what I need now is to create one last sketch up top here. I'm going to create one more rectangle, and I'm going to attach the rectangle. First I'm going to project some geometry here, so I'm going to get some lines, and I'm going to connect it to this line, and I'm going to connect it to this line over here. But first I'm also going to set the width of it to be 30. And then I'm going to connect it to that one. Then I can set the dimension up to the top as being 10. That's going to give me 10 down below also. And then I click Finish Sketch. So now I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to extrude the middle part here, and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to cut it down 20 millimeters. So as you can see, by going all the way out to this edge up here, I've managed to do a complete cut all the way through this one. And that's it. The 3D model is complete. We can pivot it a little bit just to see that everything is there. And then I'll just quickly show it in the drawing how I would put my dimensions on it. Materials and notes and everything in the drawing is something you should be able to do by yourselves now. So for now we'll just set the main view here. Let's see the main view, and if we put it up like this, it's going to tell us quite a lot about the drawing. And if we throw this one up here also, we're also going to get quite a lot of information, and we might be able to manage it with just these two, or maybe not. It might be necessary to show it over on the side there also. We'll see. Now I have to save my part first, so I'm just going to call it part 1 for now. Maybe we could up the scale once. See, 2 to 1. Just to make it a bit more easy to read. And definitely one thing we're missing here in these two views is to see how far down this part is going to go. One possibility would be to put in hidden lines on this one, because on this one the only thing we would get was a hidden line across here and a hidden line down here. So it's not going to be all that disturbing when we're looking at it. But we might also just put in a projected view over here to show everything there. And in fact, if we start looking at everything here now, we would get the width of this slot over here. We will get all of the widths that we need. We can give up here. We can also give all of our heights on this view, and then we can give all of our lengths on this view. So actually we don't need the one that we originally placed as the base view. So we could make do with just these two. So let's do that. We're going to delete this one, and as soon as I delete this one, the others are also going to disappear. So I need to put a new base view in. So now I'm going to show it from the side here. We'll pump it up a bit, and then we'll put over the projected view first off. And now it says hidden lines on this one. We don't want hidden lines on it like this, because as long as we now give a projected view over here, this projected view needs to be scaled down a bit. This projected view is giving us the shape, so it's giving us the 3D views, and now we know how our part is supposed to look. Could actually put this one over here, so we'll get some more space on our drawing. And now we can start thinking about putting in dimensions. And the nice thing here is that we have quite a lot of symmetry on this part, so we can put in a lot of symmetry lines. So we'll mark this one and we'll just pull it up here. This is just to show that the entire part is symmetrical. And then we can start doing dimensions. So first off, we'll do the top here. We're going to need to switch it to default method 1B. So the top up here. And we can also give the total length over there. And we can give the total length over here. And then I suddenly figured out there is in fact one dimension that I can't give on this one, and that's between the inner part of the slot, so from this edge and to the other side. So that's something that I'm going to have to think about showing. So one way I can do that is, in fact, if I start over again, I'm going to delete these, delete this one. I can keep that one. That's a nice one to keep. So if I do the view that I had at first, I can actually do it this way, and I can flip it the other way around. So 2 to 1 there. Press OK. I'll put this one up here. So one thing I can do now is actually do a section view through this one. So that's going to help me. So I'll put a section view through here. And that's going to give me all of the internal lengths that I need. Then we'll go back to the annotate part. We'll start putting in symmetry lines again. So we have a symmetry line going across here. And we have a symmetry line going from top to bottom here, behind the section line, and we have a symmetry line going through here. So what we can do now is give the lengths, the external lengths in this case, so this one, and this one, and the total length over here. And then I can give the internal length of that one. I can also give the internal length here, but just as a reference, because this one is controlled by the height of the cut here. So this one needs to be a reference if I put it in. We could even also limit it to just one decimal point to show there. So heights would be nice to put in here. So we'll put in height there. And it's not symmetrical this way, so we don't have a symmetry line I can go across. So then I'm going to use the same baseline for all of my dimensions here. Then we need the width of everything. And this is the only one that's going to be a bit silly, because it's going to go far into the part. But that's just the way it is sometimes. So we're going to give the widths over here. Need to move this one off a bit to the side here. So over here. Right, so let's see if we have everything we need. For this slot, we have the width of the slot. We also have the dimension between this end and this end, which is going to give us the depth. So we have everything we need to create this slot. We have everything we need to create the entire outline, because we have the total width and we have the total height with the 80 and the 50. We also have everything we need in order to create this cut in the top, because we know the width of it, 30, and by doing 40 minus 20, it will give us the height here. We also know the top part here and the bottom part there, which is going to give us the angle we need for these two lines. And we also know the thickness of the bottom of the plate. So now we have absolutely all of the dimensions we need to create this one, or to manufacture it, rather. That was it.